Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ryan back here. Welcome back to another episode on the Ryan Racing channel. Now, sorry it's been so long since our last video. I've just been busy, just doing a bunch of things and whatnot. So I thought today I was finally going to give you guys my full season predictions for the 2021 season coming ahead. Now, I'd sort of done this a wee bit ago, but it was more sort of like 5 things that I'm expecting to see or predicting to see for the season. But this one is going to be a full prediction of where I think the teams are going to finish from 10th all the way up to the top. Who will become champion, you know. And I'll give you who I think will win the title as well. The driver stand is a bit hard to do because there's like 20 drivers and it's hard to try and get right, but I'll try and give a few of them. But this is mostly be for the teams, who is going to finish top all the way up to first. Right, so starting off at the team rock bottom number 10, hate to say it, but I think it's going to be Williams. Last year they did finish last and they got absolutely no points, which is an absolute shame for them, but I don't think that'll be the case this year. Not, well, finishing last, yes, but at least I think they'll get some points. You know, that they should have more finances coming in at Williams now that Frank and Claire have left. They've sold shares in the company. The car, for the most part, will probably still be the same as it was last year. This season, with a majority of teams taking about 60% of the car over, there's not much room for manufacturing the car and upgrading it and whatnot for this season. Obviously they've got sort of George Russell. We all know what George Russell's capable of. Put him in a good car, and on his day, he'll just fly away. And Latifi, this will be Latifi's second year, so you have a bit more experience. You'll probably know the car a bit better. So I'm expecting more from Williams this year, but I still think they'll finish rock bottom. But I think they'll definitely get some points. Right, so in 9th, I'm actually going to go for Alfa Romeo. I think they were very poor last year. I think they finished 8th last year. And yeah, I think they're going to be poor again this year. Another team that has that Ferrari engine. And we know there's not really much difference really from the cars this year than was last year. So their car will be similar, I reckon. And I think they've managed to keep the driveline up. Raikkonen staying could be a big one for them. I'm surprised he didn't actually retire, but I still like Raikkonen. Obviously, he's a class racer. Like, he's one of the most experienced. He probably is the most experienced racer on the grid. But you know, there's only so much he can do at the end of the day, in that Alpha car. It's not the best. There's also still got Giovinazzi there. Don't know. I'm still not 100% on Giovinazzi. I don't think he's yet proved himself fully. But he's still got that ability to, every time on the first lap, he always seems to gain places. I think he's done that every time last year. So we'll see if he can do that again. But yeah, I'm tipping Alpha to finish 9th. And then in 8th, I'm going for another team that have a Ferrari engine. I'm going for Haas. I've got a bit more optimism for Haas this year because they have a brand new driver lineup, 2 rookies. It's a very interesting move for Haas. Definitely they have got one eye on next year with this driver lineup. They definitely have got an eye on the new regulations coming in next year, which will be a blank slate for a lot of teams. It could be one of the most interesting years in F1 for a long time. I'm very interested in what's going to happen. But for this year, might be more the same of what I had last year. You know, it's either going to go well, or it's going to go wrong, I suppose, because they have lost the experience in Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean. But they are bringing in the F2 champion, Mick Schumacher, and another young prodigy in Nikita Mazepin. So, you know, obviously they're going for youth, and they're obviously looking to the future, which could be a good move in my opinion. I mean, this year, they're probably just looking to improve this year, try and finish one better, which I think they will. I think they'll finish above Alpha, and I think they'll finish 8th this year. But obviously they've got an eye on next year, and that's what a lot of teams will be looking at. But yeah, I'm expecting Schumacher to be the highest point scorer in that team, the one that gets majority of the points. And we'll see how they get on. I'm very interested how Haas get on this year. And yeah, I do want them to finish above Alpha personally. I'd like to finish them at 8th. Right, so for 7th, I'm actually going for the team that finished 7th last year, and that was Alpha Tauri. They've still, I'm pretty sure they've retained their driver lineup. They've kept Pierre Gasly. Actually, no, they haven't. Actually, no, sorry, yeah. They kept Pierre Gasly, but I'm pretty sure they promoted the young Japanese guy. I've forgotten his name, that's so bad. Is it Kazuchika? I want to say Kazuchika, that's bad. It's pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure that's who they've brought in. So they've got another team that obviously look in the future. They've got a relatively experienced driver and a Grand Prix winner in Pierre Gasly partnered with this youth. So yeah, it could go either way. It's sort of balancing the youth and the experience, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see them doing much this year personally. They may well end up in sixth, but I think they'll be seventh personally. I just think probably about the same this year, maybe a bit better, a bit less, but I think they'll be there or thereabout in seventh. Alpha Tauri, not expecting too much from them. I don't think we'll have another miracle of Monza. Was it Monza? I think it was Monza. The miracle of Monza. I don't think we'll see another one of them this year, but we never know. This it could be a crazy year this year. We don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. So, in sixth place, I'm going for something quite interesting. Sixth place. Last year, sixth was Ferrari, and I'm expecting a lot more from Ferrari this year, even though they still have the Ferrari engine, which has not been fantastic. It won't be fantastic this year, but they do have a brand new driver in Carlos Sainz. I'm expecting a lot for this year. Him and Leclerc, I think, will be a good partnership personally. So for sixth, I'm actually going to go for Renault, or Alpine now, sorry. I think them losing Ricciardo is a big one. Obviously, they're bringing Fernando Alonso back in, a two-time winner with Renault. So he's got all the experience in the world. Ocon is still developing as a racer. So Fernando Alonso probably will be the big point scorer in that team. But I'm not really sure what to expect from this year. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a rebrand, but it feels like a brand new team and a brand new horizons for Renault. We're probably going to keep calling them Renault, even though it's going to be Alpine and they're going to be completely different colours. Still going to keep calling them Renault properly. Yeah, I'm not expecting much from this year. I do think Ricciardo is a big loss to them. I think it's a massive improvement for my team at McLaren. I also like Red Bull, so I've got two teams, Red Bull and McLaren, but today we're supporting the McLaren boys. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not expecting much, and I think sixth this year, probably they finished fifth last year, so that'll be one worse this year. That's what I'm thinking. So for fifth, I am going to go for the new team on the grid. Well, technically there's two new teams at Alpine, but this feels like a new team. This doesn't feel like a rebrand. This feels like a new team, and that is Aston Martin. We're going to go for them in fifth this year. Previously Racing Point. I like Seb Vettel in there. I think it's a great addition for them. Lance Stroll, I'm still 50-50 on Lance Stroll. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. I'm interested to see how this Aston Martin car will perform, because it probably will be weaker than last year's car, because they're not allowed to copy basically. That's what they did last year. They basically copied Mercedes, the pink Mercedes. That has been outlawed for this year. They can't do that, so they're going to have to completely redesign the car in a way, so it shouldn't be as fast. But I'm still expecting a lot, because I'm pretty sure they still have the Mercedes engine. I could be wrong, could be very wrong in saying that, but I'm expecting a lot from this year, because Seb Vettel going in there. Anytime Seb goes to a new team, expectations are always high, because in the day he's a four-time world champion. He's got all the experience in the world, and in the day he's still a class racer. I know he had some mishaps at Ferrari. It wasn't always his fault personally, I don't think, but yeah, whenever Seb Vettel's go to the team, you're always going to get results, I think, and expectation levels are going to just soar. So him and Stroll could be a good partnership, and I think fifth is probably the best they could hope for this year. I'd say they might do one better, they might do one worse, but I'm saying fifth. So fourth now, and this is quite a big risk, but I'm going for it. I'm going for Ferrari in fourth. I think this has to be a better season for Ferrari than it was last year. They just have to improve. They have to get the most out of that car. And with a brand new driver, well, yeah, basically a brand new driver of Charles Leclerc, who's been there for a number of seasons now. He knows how the team runs. He knows how the car works. Having Carlos Sainz come in, Sainz has been doing bits ever since he came onto the grid, and I'm a big fan of Sainz. He did really well at McLaren for his two seasons, and it's kind of sad to see him go to Ferrari. I don't mind Ferrari, you know what I mean? They have had a decline in recent years, but I'm hoping that they can work their way back up the grid. And fourth, I think, is where Ferrari should be aiming for this year. I don't think they'll get any higher than that. They may get lower, but I definitely don't think they'll get any higher than fourth. I think fourth is what they should be aiming for this year. Right, so in third, that's a tough one. this is quite a tough one, but I'm gonna go for my team, McLaren. They had a fantastic year last year, probably exceeded a lot of people's expectations, with a car which a lot of people didn't think would be as competitive as it was, but they were fantastic and they were so close to winning the Grand Prix, which I think they will do this year. I definitely think they'll do. With this new Mercedes engine they're getting, this car should just be rapid. Everyone knows Mercedes have the best engine on the grid. That's why Mercedes has been so dominant for all these years during the hybrid era. But yes, I just think they're going to do bits this year, and especially with Ricardo coming. I think Ricardo is a brilliant signing. Plenty of experience, 7-time Grand Prix winner. He's got it all. Him and Lando would be a brilliant partnership. Lando has proven himself to be a brilliant racer, and it's a matter of time now before he does win a Grand Prix. I'd love to say it'd be this year, because I definitely think McLaren will win a Grand Prix this year. Whether or not it will be Ricardo or Lando Norris, we'll wait and see how the season pans out. But I think that driver lineup plus the new engine, they definitely are going to hold on to third this year. I think they might even do one better, but I think third place again for McLaren and a Grand Prix win. And I'd be so happy with that. It'd be a fantastic season for them. And then next year, when the new regulations, that's when they can push on and maybe start becoming title contenders again. We'll wait and see. They might even be title contenders this year. We don't know. But I don't want to get my hopes up too much. I'm just going to say they'll finish third like they did last year, and they'll have a Grand Prix win. Now here comes the big one. Majority of people, maybe outside looking, even a lot of F1 fans will have Mercedes at number one, and you can understand why. They've been the most dominant team ever since the hybrid era started, and it's hard to bet against them, especially with the news today that Hamilton has signed his 1-year deal. We all knew it was going to happen. It's just a matter of time, if not, So obviously they've maintained Hamilton and Bottas. I still think Bottas is the weakness in that team, though. Anytime they can exploit weaknesses in Mercedes, it seems to be Bottas. Obviously Hamilton's on a different planet just now. He's on a different level. So I still think Bottas is the weak link in there, and I do think Bottas will probably leave Mercedes next year, maybe even halfway through. We don't know. Let's see what happens. This could be his last year. But with the addition of Sergio Perez at Red Bull, what a signing that is. I think that's a fantastic signing. Such underrated racer for so many years, and he proved it last year. Put him in a good car, you can see what he's capable of. He was really, really consistent in that racing point last year, and he got a Grand Prix win. Yes, it was a bit fortunate that he got it. He really got it thanks to Mercedes fucking up Russell's pit stop, but still, it doesn't matter. He got the win. He deserved it, and he was just so consistent last year, getting onto podiums, getting consistently in the points. And this is a guy that even missed like 2 or 3 Grand Prix thanks to COVID, and he still did so well. And now you put him in a team like Red Bull that are going to be challenging for the title. They've got Max Verstappen, a future world champion, next to him. I just think it's got all the recipes to make a fantastic season. And you know what? I'm going to actually go for it. Let's just do it. Why not? Let's not be boring. Let's not beat around the bush here. Mercedes second, Red Bull top. Red Bull to be champions in 2021. I'm going for it. Why not? Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, put them two in together, you've got the makings of a team that are just going to win the title. Now, saying that, who do I think is going to win the title? Now, most time if you pick a team, a construction team to win the title, you'd expect a driver from that team to win the World Championship. But I don't know, it's such a tough one. I mean, I can sit here and almost confidently say I think Mercedes couldn't win the title, but then again, saying Hamilton not to break Schumacher's record and get his 8th world title, it's a hard one. I mean, obviously Red Bull, like with Perez and Max Verstappen, they've got all the talent in the world, all the time to do it. But I don't know. Like I said, I highlighted Bottas' weakness, and Hamilton, we all know what he's capable of. Hamilton could easily win the title without Bottas scoring points, and without Mercedes winning the title. And to be honest, guys, I do think that's what's going to happen. I do think Hamilton will win the title. I know it's weird to say that Mercedes won't win the title, but Hamilton will. But that's F1, that can happen. You know what I mean? It can. It's happened before. Like I think when Jenson Button won his world championship, I don't think the constructor won it at the time. I could be wrong in saying that. I could be talking out my total arse here, but I'm sure it's happened before, and I'm going to put that happen again. So I'm saying Hamilton to win the title. I will say Max Verstappen in second, Perez in third, Bottas fourth, and then I don't know, all the way down to the very bottom. Who do I think will be the bottom driver? I'm gonna go actually for. I'm gonna go for Latifi again. I was tempted to say Mazepin, but I'm gonna go for Latifi to be the bottom driver this year. I think Russell actually will finish ahead of Latifi and Mazepin, but not Schumacher. There we go, guys. That is my season predictions for what I think is going to happen for the teams and that. Let me know, am I being too ambitious or am I just being stupid? Let me know what you think, guys. I've got more content coming now. I've got some more World Cars to go off for you guys. Got a couple more. And also the F1 fantasy season is starting up very soon. I think you can now pick your teams. They've now revealed all the prices, so I'll be getting involved in that and showing you guys what my team is going to be, and hopefully I'll do better than last year. I didn't really know what I was doing last year, but I've got a better understanding now. So, and also I'll get a league set up for you guys if you want to join, and we can be against them. It'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.